Congratulations there. From there to politics and this week's tussle over Medicare. Republicans went to the White House this week with a plan they say would save Medicare, but Democrats say the Republican plan would kill Medicare. Which is fact and which is fiction? Shira Toeplitz, a political reporter for Roll Calls in Washington. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
I'm glad you are here. Let's get right to the basics and start there with some key questions. Number one, here's a fact or fiction question. Will the Ryan plan eliminate Medicare?
Well, the Ryan plan wouldn't necessarily eliminate Medicare, but it would change it drastically as we know the program today. First of all, it's important to note that this plan would not apply, if it were passed, would not apply to anyone 55 or older. So let's just take that out of it. But it would turn what is basically a government-funded program to what some people are calling a voucher system. You know, you'd have a certain amount of money, a subsidy, and it would be on a sliding scale. And you would take that money and you'd go to a very controlled supermarket of health insurance plans. And that would be how the future of Medicaid would look if this plan were to be passed.
Okay. Let's look at number two here. Number two, your fact or fiction. Will Obama health care eliminate Medicare?
You know what? Not the changes to that Obama has proposed to the Medicare system are far less drastic than the ones to the Ryan plan. What Obama would like to do under his Medicare plan is to strengthen an independent board, which if the price of Medicare is rising too rapidly, the board would take a look, make recommendations to Congress, and then Congress would try and pass laws to make fixes. Now, if this sounds like a lot of bureaucracy, that's because it is. These changes would be much more slow going than anything under the Ryan plan.
Okay. Let's get to number three here, because we keep hearing this threshold of the age of 55. So fact or fiction here, will people under 55 not have Medicare when they retire?
Well, nothing has been passed yet, okay? There hasn't been any major legislation. They've tried to pass the Ryan plan. They've taken the Obama plan up for a vote. Nothing's been passed yet. But as things currently stand, our country is not financially solvent at this point. It's really, we're headed towards debt, and we're carrying a great deal of debt. And the number one way to fix this debt problem is to deal with these entitlement programs. So I'd be very surprised if the people under 55 today are looking at the same Medicare program that they're trying to figure out for their grandparents and parents right now.
Okay, this one, rather than fact or fiction, give me interpretation in terms of how is this going to play out in terms of a political impact?
Well, it's already turned into a huge political issue, Alex. I don't know if you paid attention to the special election in New York. I know your station covered it pretty heavily.
26? Yeah.
Yes, that one, exactly. It was a huge issue up there, and I think that's basically a clue to what we're going to be looking at in the 2012 cycle. I mean, Democrats have been very serious about not wanting to change Social Security, so the other major entitlement program is Medicare and Medicaid. So it's going to be a huge issue in terms of how we're going to solve this huge debt crisis over the next couple months, and look for candidates and politicians alike to use it as a political football.
Okay. Shira Toeplitz, always good to talk with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
The mystery over newly discovered photographs of the late, great Marilyn